Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is, well, you've been getting a lot of battle videos recently. Today is not another battle video. Now, I'll give you fair warning that this video does include a battle, sort of like an initial battle in a cruise that I get, but it'll have no sound because I've had to redub the sound I originally recorded with microphone and in-game sounds, but my sound setups are a real problem. Anyway, it's a birthday for Wargaming and they've given a discount off ships, so that means some of these discounts are really worth looking at. If you can see there, something like the Friedrich de Grosser goes from 7.7 million to 6.2, saving of 1.5 million. Now, one of the main constraints that I find is blueprints. So I'm being very careful about what I do above tier 8. So I have everything to tier 8, but the main constraint that I have is is going to be blueprints. Now, I used to have constraint with blueprints at tier 8, but I've resolved that. But tier 9 and 10 are pretty greedy. And as you can see, I've got a fair number of tier 8 built up ready for the Russian battleships when they come through, but the tier 9's probably about maybe 4 tier 10s, or a combination of tier 9s would exhaust the supply of blueprints that I have there, so I'm taking my time. Also, I'm finding that tier 9 and tier 10 battles aren't as lucrative. I lose a lot of trophies and sometimes we don't make a lot of cash. But I have been eyeing up a couple of the tier 10s, in particular the Minotaur. So I've got the Neptune. The Minotaur looks good, but I think I'll probably let the Neptune grind its way there. So let's see what else is for sale in the they've got. Another one that I have been considering is the Henri, which is the tier 10 French cruiser. I like the Charles Martel, but the Henri has slightly bigger. It's like one of those big heavy cruisers like the Constat or something like that. Not really my cup of tea. I do like knocking over DDs. Venezia looks pretty good, but probably the one thing I'll have against the Venezia is that I'll probably run with the tier 9, the Brindisi. Here's one that I really don't want to get, but it leads to a tier 10 that, from my perspective, is something that I've been looking at for a while. I have once there was a loan event and I did all right with this, even stock. So maybe it's time for a bit of an impulse buy. And yeah, let's break the tier 10 drought on cruisers that I have. So I have a few tier 9 cruisers. That's what you saved up free XPs for. That's what you saved up silvers for. There you go. 10k knocked off my silver already. That's not going to be the end of it because, well, we're going to have to stock the supply for this ship. There's some pretty standard stuff that I'll get, which is basically maneuverability, reload, and hit points. I'm not going to load up any of those because, well, there's no point in gaining free XP or gaining XP in it. I do have some captains lying around. I have the guy that I've currently got assigned in the Hipper. I probably need to change a few of those skills. Like I need to do the math on the marksman. So for the reload for the Hipper, for the Hindenburg, is it worth it? The other option, of course, is that I advance this guy from the Hipper into the Hindenburg, but I feel that's a bit of a waste. I mean, he's not the best fit for the Hipper either, but you know, my problem is that with the Hindenburg, I really do want the extra battlefield support. I want that sonar. Obviously, I'd love that in the Hipper. This is a bit of a waste in the Hindenburg, and the Sixth Sense is the other thing that I'd want, and a armored piercing cap shell. So, you know, still some options there, but let's get some games in it and see how much I enjoy it, because I don't want Franz von Hipper to disappear from my repertoire if I decide that I made a big mistake, which is a pretty big, expensive mistake to make. The York, maybe this guy. I'd need to clear out. Oh, probably he's got everything right apart from I'd need to check the maths on those two. So maybe he's a bit of an option. Probably, however, I'd want underwater protection as well as the healing. Right. So we haven't quite finished yet. Let's just turn off these battlefield notifications. Oh, artillery plotting room, plus 8% firing range, plus 12% surface detection. I'm going to have to play a few. Well, I don't have the free XP, and 5,000 gold's quite a lot, so nice for the future. But let's see what we've got in the immediate. I've got some decisions to make there. Normally, I'd go for Battlefield Main Battery Modification 3 to get that dispersion improved. Here, it's a bit simpler. I think, bearing in mind what else we've got in tier 10, risk of fire on deck and risk of superstructure fire is probably the main things that I would be looking for. That's my dog in the background, if you can hear her. Let's have a look at the surface detection for that third slot, 9.84. If I brought that down by 10%, that brings it down to 9 kilometers, which is forever, really. Potentially, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty certain that I'll want some traverse going. So let's see what his traverse is, which is 6.1 degrees per second and 10.2 seconds turn time. That's the rudder shift, I think, in the PC version. Let's see what, let's have a look at the Prinz Eugen, see how different it is. So 6.86 versus 6.1. Probably a second and a half less on the turn time. So it's a bit worse, but it's not orders of magnitude worse. So here we go. Let's spend another 2 grand, 2 million, just like that, eh? Let's see what difference that makes. And if we bring up the maneuverability, let's scroll down to that sucker. Come on, scroll down, that's it. Oh, no change to the maximum traverse speed, but a couple of seconds or a second and a half off the turn time. That's lovely. Okay, then, so that's what this does. Okay, a long time playing the game and not learning anything. These two are the same, traverse acceleration and traverse acceleration, so I don't really feel like I'm going to throw traverse acceleration on top of traverse acceleration. Let's go with the deck protection. Of course, it's the most expensive, but hey, gee shucks. Right, there we go, job done. That'll improve my resistance to fire, which I'm absolutely going to need. As for these, yeah, let's clear that out. Main batteries, torpedoes. I'm not going into battle half rate. If I've purchased it, might as well invest in it. There we go. That just sucks down all the cash. So you can see we've gone from 71 down to 55. That was a 3.2 million saving, or 2.7 million, 2.7 million saving. So could have been worse. Damage reduction. The Prinz Eugen and the Hipper, well, the Prinz Eugen actually proves the value of that citadel protection and damage reduction. So, the turret traverse speed is 9 degrees, the maximum traverse speed is 6.1 degrees, so I'm not out turning my turret, so it's safe to get. So we'll get ourselves some fire resistance, some fire retardant topside. Okay. So there we go. That's a Hindenberg. I'm going to have to get used to the name of it. We'll leave that top slot empty because it is quite a lot of cash, and I'm going to burn up my saving trying to swap it around. That artillery plotting room is potentially a candidate as well as the dispersion improvement. But the only thing it's going to tell me which of those is the better one to go for is to actually play some games. As for captains, well, I need to do some maths. Let's not do something we can't reverse. So unfortunately, we're going to send him into battle without a captain. So we'll see how the crew does on the first attempt. Here we go. We're in cage. It is tier 10 because I'm tier 10. So there's no, there's no getting past that. Smolensk is in the game. So I've got to watch out for those fires. Enemy Hindenburg, Worcester. That gearing is a target. So the Smolensk, the gearing, followed by the Worcester are probably my primary targets. Here we are. We're nicely at the back near the A cap. So what I'm going to do is turn my guns to the left so that as I turn in, I can defend the A cap and the B cap without sort of driving off the edge of the map and getting cornered. So it moves me back in towards the fleet. Whoops, got to watch that. Remember I had a video where I talked about the Hindenburg versus Hipper, fee versus free. There was a note in the comments as the video played that basically said you want to improve your win rate. The best thing to do, the thing that I found is the best thing to do is to move at half speed. So we've accelerated up to half speed. and now we're putting ourselves into half speed. Okay, just our luck. On our side is this lovely little thing called the Smolensk. I probably should have been ready for it first. So we put our fire, we put our precise aiming on, shots out. He turned, which is pretty unfortunate because I could have absolutely slammed him much harder than that. But let's see what this does. He's not turning away, he's turning around, and that felt just great. So sorry about the lack of sound effects, but as I said, the original audio, my voice was shocking. Well, okay then, that didn't sound too good. Oh, that's what they do. So I'm going to put my end onto him and just keep nibbling away at him with AP. This Montana, we get nice hits, nice pins. He's counter batterying. I'm going to make myself a difficult target so he goes and deals with someone else because, well, that's sort of a little bit of survival of the fittest going on. I'm starting to regret not getting that concealment module. Maybe because that ring being 10% smaller would be, well, it's not actually that big a difference to be fair. And it's not a ship like the Minotaur or the Edinburgh or the Neptune where you have a smoke that enables you to essentially reset that visibility. We're losing the B cap. That looks like a destroyer coming in. No, it's a Worcester. He's one of my preferred targets. I'm going to turn myself into him. The Smolensk is really holding his distance. He's going hard up against our Zhao and whatever that battleship is. His name I can't remember. Okay, precise aiming, shots out. Having 3 precise aiming is quite nice. Yeah, so there were a few bounces, and that's one of the challenges I think with the... I'm going backwards, so he's going to extend outside my range. Let's see what else we've got going on in here. We have the Montana. I'll give him some love as well, see if we can land some on his bow. Oh, I like the look of that. Oh, apart from the fact it overshot. And this is almost too good to pass up. Shots out. Okay, I like the fact that they've got relatively quick travel time, and that is the most satisfying reason. So although the audio was bad overdubbing, it was worth it because that was probably the most satisfying thing I'd done all day. Little Bernie thing is gone. Okay then, so we're going to keep shots out on this Montana. We are getting a few bounces, but we're getting a few through. Can see a gearing coming in. That's way too many bounces for my liking. We'll give him a last shot on the stern, and then we'll come through and try and deal with this gearing. Oh, he's not liking what he sees. Nice little. He's got a citadel strike against me, I think. I'm pushing this Seattle out of the way. Sorry about that, mate. But that's just the way things are. He's smoked up. I fired off my hydro, and we're going to block him from basically proceeding. He has stopped. I think he's realized what's going on. I'm going to let his torpedoes pass on by. I may wear one of them, but I've moved to HE in order to slam him. I am getting hammered pretty badly, but if we get this guy out of the game, we've got the Smolensk out of the game. If we get this guy out of the game, that'll really help us. It's 4 versus 4. No, it's 4 versus 3. So we are having a bit of an issue here. Hopefully one more shot should do him. I have precise aiming. Probably should have used it, or nah, all good. But I am getting sideswiped by the Worcester, so I have to turn away to give him the worst profile possible. But now we are in a bit of strife. It's 3 versus 2, 2 fires. Put them out, but that's not a great place to be because these tier carriers, well, these torpedo bombers are more than enough to deal with the final blow. But still, I can feel pretty proud of the fact that first time out, it wasn't too bad. I maintained the discipline of sticking with the fleet, which is good. I did more than my hit points and damage, so I have 42,000 hit points as the Hindenberg. I did a bit of research prior. I've grabbed a capture zone, 2 enemy ships, and yeah, so it's something not to be unhappy about. And I think our midway is definitely going to struggle. Let's go and see what their midway's up to. He's got some good strikes against him, but look at those planes get chewed up. Not as much as watching them get chewed up over the Worcester before. So the Hindenburg obviously is going to be a little bit vulnerable to aircraft, but that's just going to be part of the discipline that I'm going to have to learn, which is to maintain that, maintain that connection with the fleet. It is a fleet protection. I suppose I could have gone for Des Moines or Worcester, but everybody's got Worcester, and I like, I like to be able to defend the fleet against destroyers, and within the Hindenburg can reach out enough that we can actually start to punish them before they get into torpedo range. I find that with the Cleveland or the Brooklyn, that the high shell arcs put me in a position where I am struggling to try and put any preventative measures into reasonably accurate torpedo launches. So we lose the carrier, lose the game, but I don't feel too badly about my role in it. Now, did I make a mistake? Time will tell. It is something that's probably going to teach. Oh my gosh, minus 24. Yeah, this could keep me out of tier 10. Best on the team. 2 ships destroyed, 3 aircraft destroyed, 1 capture point. Best score on the team, and I got minus 24 silver. Yeah, okay then. Well, it's an occasional ship. I might have to train up the captain in some of my premiums. Anyway, there we go. That is the free XPing past the Rune into the Hindenburg. I'm sure you'll see more Hindenburg videos, unless of course I have a shocking result, in which case, yeah, you'll probably not see many at all. But yeah, it's certainly the fee versus free video that I did around Admiral Hipper and Prinz Eugen actually improved my play in these type of cruisers. So maybe there's hope for me yet. Right, so 2 citadels, 2 ships sunk. I mean, apart from the really poor haul, and I probably should put camo on it too. I have a few lying around. Yeah, I'm not too unhappy. 12 pretty nasty guns, reasonably tanky. Anyway, while we're in for these impulse purchases, there is still a special on. So, you know what? Maybe it's time to go shopping. So what else have we got down here? Now, I've heard things about the Brindisi. It's nothing bad. So instead of going straight to Venezia, I don't have enough port slots. I'll keep the Suvorov. I'll keep the Orion because I like the fires that it starts. I need to get rid of a ship, tier 5. Nicholas, I need to do a video. Omaha, I probably need to do a fee versus free with the Marblehead. So looks like Castor, you are the odd man out. Thanks for your service. You've got no captain, so you've got nothing really holding you back. I did keep you for probably because I forgot about you, so awfully sorry. Enjoy your new life as razor blades. Thanks for your service. Right, I have no idea why it always defaults to Gneisenau after you sell something. Is it a clue? Anyway, free port spot, and you know what that means? Impulse buy time. Impulse buy, or yeah, impulse buy. Right, however, the story of the Brindisi will be another video. So anyway, I hope you found that entertaining. It may not have been particularly educational. It may have been. It shows what happens when I get a new ship. Oh, I've got another battle invite. Come on. Off we go. Right. So it does show you what it's like when I get a new ship. I get what I can, but I leave what I can't vacant until I work out the niceties of it. Yeah, I'd like you to thank you for watching. Now, one thing you could do for me is if you could like this video, that would really help me out. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.